crown jewel for this coming Thursday on Halloween Day. This is the current card as it stands right now as of October 24th, 2019, and here are my predictions as of right now for Thursday, October 24th, 2019. We have Team Hogan versus Team Flair with what on the line, you ask? Absolutely nothing. It's like that war song, What Is It Good For? Yeah, Team Hogan versus Team Flair, what is it good for? Absolutely nothing, baby. It's just 10 All-Stars going at it for the sake of the Saudi Prince. Thankfully, he's not on the line in this match, but he will be watching from afar. It's Team Hogan, which consists of Roman Reigns, Rusev, Ricochet, fucking Chad Gable. I will not say Shorty G. I refuse to call him Shorty G. He's Chad Gable. Chad Gable and Ali taking on Team Flair, which will consist of Randy Orton, King Corbin, Bobby Lashley, Shinsuke Nakamura, the Intercontinental Champion, and Drew McIntyre, who returned on Raw this week and knocked off Ricochet in one-on-one action to avenge the loss he suffered at the hands of Ricochet a few months ago on Raw in the first round of the King of the Ring tournament. So a little nice attention to detail there on Raw this week. I really have no level of expectation for this. I don't think as of right now it's an elimination tag team match. I think it's just the normal 10-man tag team match, which completely defeats the purpose of Survivor Series. But fuck it, it's the Saudi show, so they can do whatever they want. I'm just going to say Team Roman, because I guess, it's a glorified house show anyway, so why wouldn't the baby faces win? It's not like anything is on the line, so yeah, I got Team Hogan going over. We'll start from the bottom and work our way up from there. AJ Styles, as it was announced on Wednesday's The Bump from WWE, it's going to be AJ Styles defending his United States Championship against the winner of a 20-man Battle Royal earlier on in the evening. They have yet to announce who's going to be in this Battle Royal, but I assume it's going to be the scraps of people that aren't involved in the Tag Team Turmoil match elsewhere here on this show. So I really have no idea who would win. Honestly, I thought Mansoor would be a good idea just because he won that other Battle Royal a few months ago at Super Showdown in Saudi Arabia. And Mansoor is actually pretty good, and Mansoor and AJ would be a really good match. Mansoor is actually already facing Cesaro on this show, a match that obviously will be won by Mansoor, which makes sense, but poor Cesaro. As far as the United States Championship match is concerned, take a wild guess. Kevin Owens, maybe. Kevin Owens and AJ teased defeat on this week's Raw. Now, they might just do some sort of a filler opponent. Actually, no, Kevin Owens won't be on this show. They can't do KO and AJ, because KO said the last time, and the time before that, and this show, I don't think he was there in November. I think he said no. I know he definitely wasn't at Super Showdown a few months ago. But he won't be on this show either, so Kevin Owens said no to going over to Saudi Arabia. He cannot be in this Battle Royal. So if it's not Kevin Owens, I could see it being Cedric Alexander, Buddy Murphy maybe. I would hope that it's someone from the Raw brand. I mean, no more of this cross-promotion, inter-promotional shit. The brand split is back, hopefully. Let's stick to it this time, people. It's only been 2 fucking weeks. There's no real reason to go back on that so soon. So hopefully it's a member from the Raw roster. I'm not sure who it would be. Raw has a pretty stacked lineup, but I'm not sure who would make sense to face AJ. It doesn't really matter who makes sense. But we'll say fucking Cedric because fuck it, why not? You know what, actually, I'll go with Buddy Murphy because we've seen AJ and Cedric already a bunch of times. So at least Buddy Murphy and AJ would be something new, and I would assume that AJ wins. I mean, I guess it could be Aleister Black, but again, Aleister I don't think is welcome to come to the country either because of his tattoos. He wasn't allowed to go to Saudi in June at Super Showdown because of his, I think, religious tattoos, and I don't think he'd be allowed again here. So if you eliminate the people that can't go to the country and the people that won't be in this match because they're already in other matches on this show, Buddy Murphy or Cedric are the only 2 people that make sense. So I'll say Buddy Murphy and then AJ retains the title. We'll then have a tag team turmoil match for the WWE World Cup. Yes, the same World Cup that was on the line last year with all these people that were from the United States. So what kind of a World Cup is that, you ask? I have no idea. We're doing it again this time with the tag teams, and I guess it's to determine the greatest tag team in WWE today. We have the New Day, the Raw Tag Team Champions, the Viking Raiders, Heavy Machinery, Lucha House Party, Kurt Hawkins and Zack Ryder, The Revival, Luke Gallows and Carl Anderson, Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, and the B-Team. Who are the SmackDown Tag Team Champions? Oh yeah, The Revival. I completely forgot because they're never on TV. But this should be fine, I guess. I could see the Jobbers getting beat quite quickly. If I had to pick any one team, I guess the Viking Raiders would make sense because they have been undefeated. I don't see them going in there and getting pinned. That's why they did that double DQ finish in that gauntlet match on Raw a few weeks ago, I think, with them and the OC. When they weren't pinned, they were just disqualified. They were just disqualified. They are the Raw Tag Team Champions now. I'll say the Viking Raiders, but if it's not them, maybe the New Day, which will definitely consist of Big E and Kofi because Xavier Woods was recently injured on WWE's tour of Australia. I think he hurt his Achilles tendon, and I'm not sure if we have confirmation yet as of this recording, but it might be a full tear, which would absolutely suck because those injuries can take anywhere from 9 to 12 months to recover from, if not more. So Xavier could be out for a really long time if that's true. Hopefully not, but I guess we'll find out soon enough. But again, if not the Viking Raiders, I have the New Day going over here, but the Viking Raiders are my pick. Already said Mansoor over Cesaro. Braun Strowman versus Tyson Fury. Come on. Tyson Fury's winning. He's never been beaten within the boxing world. Why would he lose now in WWE to fucking Braun Strowman, who can't win a match to save his life? So Tyson Fury's winning that. And I said this on hashtag on Wednesday. I like Tyson Fury. He seems like a genuine, real fan of the WWE. I appreciate that. But just the build of this match alone has not been good. It just feels so forced. It feels like they tell him to go out there, put on this phony fucking, not smile, but like this phony mean face to sell people on the idea of him and Braun facing off, and it's just not realistic, it's not compelling, it's just stupid. But he will win here. For the Universal Championship, Seth Rollins versus The Fiend Bray Wyatt in a Falls Count Anywhere match, where we were told on SmackDown last week they actually included this in the stipulation title on the match card. It says, the match cannot be stopped for any reason. So even if Bray Wyatt just, for whatever reason, just dies during the match, let's say he has an allergic reaction, or whatever in the middle of the ring, and he just dies or he needs an ambulance or something, the match will continue. They can bring Bray Wyatt to the nearest, medical facility in Saudi Arabia. Rollins can follow him there and then pin him. Maybe that's what they have in mind. Maybe that's what they'll do to protect the Fiend, that he has a heart attack in the middle of the ring and then Rollins pins him when he's down. And they still keep Seth Rollins' face because they want him to be this, heroic babyface, even though that's the farthest thing from what he is right now. Just turn the guy fucking heel. Just turn him heel. He's much better as a heel. I think the face run has run its course, and he's been a great babyface by and large up until recently, but we've seen it a million times already. We've seen it for so long. He was actually a heel a lot shorter than he's been a babyface. He was only a heel on his own from mid-2014 to mid-2016. He's been a babyface ever since. So 3 years to 2 years, he's been a babyface longer than he ever was a heel on his own, dating back to 2014. So I do think he should turn soon. My big question was, they need a top babyface to replace him on that side of the roster. I would say McIntyre. I've argued Drew McIntyre. Yes, he came back as a heel on Raw this week, but of course he would come back as a heel. I mean, it kind of makes sense just because he left as a heel, and not everyone returns on the opposite side of the spectrum. You kind of have to build it with first. And I know Sasha came back and turned heel a few months ago, which was, long overdue. But McIntyre, they can build it with if they wanted to. Maybe he teases tension with Randy Orton here on Team Flair, and that's how... that's how they build tension between those two and establish a feud between Orton and McIntyre, and that's how they turn Drew McIntyre babyface. I'm not sure. I think that'd be the easiest way to do it. But in the meantime, though, Rollins will reign supreme in this match, still the Universal Champion, doing further damage to the Fiend in the process. I'm not even really sure why they're doing this match, to be honest with you. If the Fiend is not going to become the champion, nor why would he, because he's on SmackDown. I mean, I guess they could say, if he wins the title, he comes back to Raw. Then what was the point of putting him on SmackDown in the first place? We already had that dumbass trade a week ago that we talked about here on the show with Alexis, breaking down the 2019 WWE Draft, where Alexa Bliss and Nikki Cross went to SmackDown, and then Raw got nobody in return. It made absolutely no sense. So Rollins wins here, LOL, and then we get to what should be the main event for the WWE Championship. There was some confusion over whether this would be for the championship or not. It will officially be for the title. Brock Lesnar versus Cain Velasquez. I could see them doing a deal where Brock wins just to say they've evened the score between the two from their UFC fight 10 years ago, which actually happened 9 years ago yesterday, which is pretty interesting. I can see them doing that, but I would rather they keep Cain strong in his first match in WWE. to ruin any appeal he has by having him get beat by Brock. I know this is Brock's world, but I think it would still be stupid. They should book some sort of a non-finish, but if it's anything like Hell in a Cell last month, they'll probably fuck it up and just end the evening with a lot of people angry. Either way, I think Brock escapes still the WWE champion. It is way too soon to be putting the belt on Cain Velasquez if we don't really know what he can do in the ring. I know the guy's had a couple Lucha Libre matches, and from what I've heard, he's actually done pretty well in AAA, but you can't go off for that and just give him the championship. So I would assume Brock retains here. I would still prefer to see this match at WrestleMania, not the WrestleMania in Saudi Arabia. To me, it just ruins a lot of the appeal this match has because it came together 3 weeks ago, not even. But I do think Brock wins, and hopefully or at least retains the championship, and they can go back to this at some point down the road, maybe in time for WrestleMania 36 if it's still a hot feud by that point. And those are my predictions for Crown Jewel next week on Halloween. Again, I'm hoping to watch it live, or expect to watch it live before doing my annual watch-along, the annual viewing of Ghostbusters on Halloween before going out and enjoying the evening on Halloween night. So I'm looking forward to that.